We always hear that we need to have good balance. Everyone's always telling us to have better balance, but how many of those people are actually telling us how to have better balance? Today we're going to go over a few exercises that will help you to improve your balance skills. Basic balance practice revolves around removing one of our legs from the equation, therefore standing on one leg. If you remember when you were a child, you had to learn to walk on two legs and you didn't start walking normally. You started walking very weird, trying to figure out your balance and your equilibrium. So the same thing can apply when we take one of those legs out of the equation because we're not used to walking there. So let's talk about the crane stance, which we use in Taekwondo, hakdari sogi. And that's when we take one leg and just pick it up and we put it next to our opposite leg. We don't put it on the leg, we just nudge it right up next to the leg and we remain there. And there's forms and things that you would do from this stance that can help you practice with your balance. But we're going to do a few exercises with that in mind. Let's start off simple. We're just going to pick one of our legs up nice and easy in midair. We're going to hold our balance here, and you'll notice how your remaining leg is going to try and compensate and hold itself to keep your center of gravity to where you're not falling over. And it's just a little bit harder than standing on two legs. We'll do the same thing on the other side. We're just trying to hold ourselves up and focus on keeping everything centered and controlled. Very good. Now if that's easy, instead of standing real close together, we can open our legs some, front to back, and we can lift back like this, and noticing that it's just a little bit harder because my weight's more distributed, so trying to bring it all to the center is a little bit harder. I can do the same from widening my legs here like a horse stance. I can lift my leg, and it's just harder for me to hold my balance, so you can practice ways like that. But if these things are easy for you, what we'll try next is we're just going to try and lift our leg. And then what we'll do is we'll start moving it around. And you'll notice that it's harder for your foot that's on the ground to control. But that's the point. We're trying to test ourselves and see what we're capable of. And if you do end up having to hop or have to catch yourself, that's fine. This is just something for you to practice. We can do it with the other leg, same thing. Moving it in a circle. Very good. Okay, now I want you to try something. We're going to lift one of our legs off the ground. So we've practiced this, we understand it. Now what I want you to do from here is go ahead and close your eyes and hold it there for a few seconds. And you probably notice a difference in your balance. Okay, you can open your eyes. That's telling you that your eyes are a very important part of your equilibrium because they're surveying the environment around you to make sure that everything is centered properly. So once you take those out, it makes it that much harder for you to control yourself. So with that in mind, we're going to do an exercise using our eyes. So what I want you to do is lift one of your legs off the ground. We're going to take a finger and bring it in front of our eyes. So what I want you to do is we're going to start moving our finger, and I only want you to move your eyes with your finger. So focus your eyes on your finger, but we're not going to move our head or any other part of our body. We're just going to move our eyes to follow the finger to the side. Back to the center, nice and slow. And we'll go to the other side, just to where we can still see it out of the corner of our eyes. Back to the center. We can go up, but don't tilt your head, just your eyes. And down, very good. We can go back, we can do the same on the other leg. Doesn't matter which hand we use, we can try both. So I can try my other hand, going across, and back, side, and up. It just makes it that much harder because our eyes are used to focusing on keeping us stabilized. So once they have to focus on something else, it makes it harder for us to hold ourselves in balance. But the point of these exercises is for us to test ourselves and push our limits so we can get better at our balance. If that's still too easy for you, what I want you to do is find an object. A beanbag will work really well. A pillow will work. Something soft, not very slippery, and nothing that can get damaged or hurt your foot if it falls on you or falls on the ground. I'm going to use my Pelican's pillow. I'm just going to put this on top of my head. So something that can balance pretty well. Okay, we don't want it to be something that can slide off really easy. This has a little bit of give. So I'm going to do the same things that I was doing before. I can lift my leg and I can try and hold my balance here. So this way I can't really move my head to compensate for anything. So it just makes my balance a lot harder. I can start moving my leg in circles and just having to concentrate on a lot of things at once makes it harder for me to hold my balance. But you'd be surprised when you practice stuff like this, it does get easier, okay? We can do the same thing with our finger, so we can follow, because I'm not moving my head. So I will wobble because there is a lot going on, and my body is doing its best to compensate. And you can have somebody else in front of you doing this, moving their hand in a circle, just following it with your eyes, or you can do it by yourself, like I'm doing. So this is supposed to be a challenge. If this is all something that's easy and you didn't have any problem doing it, then it wouldn't be getting you any better. So the point of these challenges is to give you something to practice and to help you become better. Okay, now finally we're going to do a few motion exercises. Those were some stationary exercises. We're going to just add a little motion into it. First thing we're going to do is just the same thing we're doing, lifting our leg. We're just going to start moving our body a little bit and twisting in a circle, not too far. Don't want to twist my knee, but this is just adding another element of difficulty to what we were already practicing. I can try both legs, and if I feel comfortable, I can go farther. But you go with what's best for your comfort zone. So another motion exercise we can do is called the skater, where we're just going to jump from side to side. So I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to bring my weight to one leg, and I'm going to lift my other leg behind me, and then I'm going to jump back and bring my leg here. Might help if the ground isn't super slippery and you have slippery shoes, but you get the idea. I'm trying not to throw my weight so far that I have to fall on the ground. I'm just jumping to where I have to hold my leg in place and stabilize myself. Jumping across, and here, and so on. You can do these as many times as you want. I'm just giving you some ideas, some examples. The last one, you can do what's called a Superman plank. Get into a push-up position, and I'm going to lift my left hand and my right leg, and vice versa, my right hand and my left leg. So this is the same element, but I'm on the ground this time. I'm just trying to hold my balance here. The same rules apply, trying to stabilize myself with my exercises. So I hope you enjoyed these exercises. I hope you learned something about balance, and I hope you learned something about yourself. I hope you challenged yourself and gave yourself something to work on, and most importantly, had a good time. Thank you guys for watching, and keep training.